In my previous assignment, I covered all kinds of territory in northern Butler County, and the drive between the various churches and the parish center was always exciting, and especially the drive going to visit so many of our parish family who were homebound or in nursing homes. It was always a joy to travel across country to visit all the different members of the parish. And one day I just remember the drive so vividly. It was right before I started this assignment here at St. Paul Seminary. I had left St. Louis Church in West Sunbury and started across country. And the very first field that I came to had several turkeys, a large flock of turkeys there. And all the tom turkeys had their feathers were spread out in all their glory as they were strutting their stuff in front of all the lady turkeys. And it was just a beautiful sight to see that happening in the field. And then a little further up the road, a fox had run across in front of me. And then I went on up the road, and then I was just blown out of my mind to see an amazing event taking place. A beautiful cow was giving birth to a calf. The mama cow was right there beside the road, and she was giving birth to a calf. And I thought, well, there goes any privacy for her, but she was right there, and it was such a beautiful sight. And other people had stopped as well, just to make sure that she had delivered the calf okay. So then I continued on up the road, and we were stopped as geese were crossing the road. A group of geese were crossing the road. And then the final thing that caught my attention that day was I was traveling on down the same road, and there was a turtle right in the middle of the road. So I had to wait till the turtle got across the road because he was going to get into the pond on the other side of the road. And that day was such a spirit-filled journey because of seeing all the beauty of God's creation from West Sunbury as I traveled to Forestville to St. Anthony Church. And it was just a beautiful adventure. And I share that with you this morning, especially because Pope Francis has asked us to focus our attention on the care of creation and to pray prayers in thanksgiving to God that we've been gifted with the beauty of creation, but also to ask for God's inspiration, to ask God for his guidance so that we can all take better care of the created world around us. Today, the beautiful first reading that Bishop Zubik proclaimed for us from Paul's letter to the Corinthians, it talks about God, and it talks about the mind of God and how can we understand that. But I dare to think that as we look at creation, we can understand God's love for us and God's love for beauty by looking at the world around us. And in the Gospel of Luke today, it talks about the people and how Jesus was working miracles. And I just like two words that Luke used in today's Gospel. As he started to teach them, the people were astonished at his teaching. And then later on in today's reading, we're told they were all amazed at what Jesus was doing. My dear family, as we gather here today, take time today to really enjoy the beauty of creation around us. And let God astonish us with the gift of the created world. Let him amaze us with the beauty of creation around us. I think all of us have the opportunity to simply look outside and to see that created world. Whether you can sit in a chair and look out at the sky and see the clouds, maybe later on today it'll be watching the rain. Maybe tonight we'll be blessed with a good sunset. Or maybe you'll be able to see birds in your bird feeder or turkeys or geese or deer tonight. Whatever it be, God is blessing us with the gift of creation. And I think as we look at the created world around us, it can become something spiritual. That first reading that the bishop read, it talks about people of a spiritual being, of the spiritual world, and how the Spirit can move in us. Today, as we go through this day, let's ask the Spirit to inspire us, that we can have a spiritual day experiencing God's presence in the beauty of creation around us, that the Spirit may truly touch each of our hearts, that we will be astonished by God's love for us as we look at the world around us, and that we'll be amazed that we have a God that loves each of us so much, that cares for each of us so much, that he would give us this beautiful world to live in, and also that he trusts us so much that he trusts each of us to take good care of it.